All right, and welcome back to Friend or Foe series. I am your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster Shargan. I am joined once again by Torres. That last game was a bit of a spicy one.
Spicy indeed. I mean, what turned out to be a game where, like, we thought INT was going to run away with all those Dragon Steals. Falcon just turns it around.
Yeah, no, it was so insane, some of the stuff that was going on. Like, just Bo's steals were ridiculous, just straight up, those first two. But then FEC kind of was like, we're on to you, buddy, and just kind of shut that down.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those moments where the robber shows up with the gun, drops his gun, and then Falcon Esports kind of just smash him against the wall.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so coming up next, we've got Pentakill Team Up Please versus Blue Bayou Zoo. It does look like Sunga is being swapped out for Woof Woof this game, so they are not here today. In the meantime, let's go and hop into these picks and bans. First pick we've got up is a Rammus and the Senna. Fang over Fang, I hope you're not watching right now.
I mean, it looks like the Theater's banned out. The Rammus is picked up from PTP. Rammus now being enabled. That is it was disabled prior to this week, but now that 2 weeks have passed since the mini rework is being enabled and is finally being picked up in the tournament.
And that Rammus we've already seen picked once today. Not to the best of effects, unfortunately, but it was a good counter pick to the Master Yi. Just didn't end up working against a double hyperscaling comp. And we've gotten another hyperscaler picked up, Aphelios for PTP.
Aphelios pick, really just looking to match the ADC pick from the other side of BBZ. Already seeing the ADCs being picked up. Looks like, I assume that is going to be a Gragas jungle, as we're seeing mirroring matchups as the ADCs and junglers have both been picked up, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, more than likely, we don't really see Gragas going other places other than jungle. I mean, it does happen, but it's just not as common. We do have a Morgana pickup. That is a really interesting pick because that could go in a couple of different places.
A Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger we have not seen in quite some time. I don't think we've seen it this season so far.
I don't believe we have, but I mean, definitely a peculiar pickup. We'll see how it's played out from Whites.
We will, because that is, once again, that's a flex pick, because it could be a normal Heimerdinger mid lane, or it could be the absolutely cancerous bot lane. I hate laning against that in the bot lane.
I just hate Heimerdinger in general.
Well, to be fair, it's the same thing as Master Yi, where it's you click on your target, you let the game play itself as it auto attacks for you, and then you just hit abilities when you need to.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, and that's in that regards. I mean, PTP does have two nasty pickups, being the Morgana and the Rammus, kind of just the CC bots. So, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. But it looks like PTP doesn't think that the Heimerdinger is a mid laner, as it looks like the Zed is banned out one of their bans.
Yeah, they've got a Zed ban out right there, so they think that they've got a Zed and a Yone ban, so they're obviously not thinking it's a mid pickup of the Heimerdinger. They think it might be the bot lane. Not a bad idea, especially if they're picking up a Blitzcrank here. That's the Piltover combo in the bot lane. That would be absolutely disgusting. I basically, Blitz is probably one of the few champions that I refuse to pick up just because I feel dirty when I play them.
Of course. I think it's going to be the Heimer. It might be the Heimer top, is what I'm speculating, actually.
Okay, so we actually have a Trundle pickup instead of the Blitzcrank. So it looks like off on their support pick until last, surprisingly enough.
All right, I'm lost.
You're lost?
I'm lost. I'm just going to wait. There are no more speculation on BBZ's comp. You know what? Just flex it anywhere. You're taking flex picks to a whole new meeting.
They are taking flex picks to a whole new meaning. Well, to be fair, last game that they played a really interesting comp with the Sejuani offlane in the Aurelia and Nidalee, which is supposedly an interesting combo. So it could just be that we're going to be seeing some interesting comps coming out of BBZ. We've got the Rumble pickup over on the side of PTP. I like that because it does give them some extra AP damage, though they don't really need that with a Morgana because you're going to already have a lot right there. But you will have the Equalizer to provide you some burn and backline slows, so could very well work out, but I'm not seeing a lot of heavy engage from BBZ.
Nasus.
Now I don't know what's going on the PTP side. So that's probably a Rumble mid, would be my guess.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too. I mean, probably just the Rumble mid, the pretty standard Morgana ADC with the Aphelios bot lane. Oh, I mean, I don't know how well Gnosis goes into Heimerdinger if that Sobi is the top laner, but
And we've got a Silas pickup over on the side of BBZ as well. Okay, so we've got a interesting comp on the side of BBZ that I'm not entirely sure what it is. I'm gonna guess it's the Heimerdinger Fasting Senna bot lane, maybe?
maybe looks like it's going to be. I mean, with the lane assignments, I assume it's Trundle jungle with the Gragas top, the Fasting Senna with the Heimerdinger bot, and the Silas is playing mid. And if that's the case, I feel like my money. I honestly don't know. I'm gonna leave this one to you, Sherigan.
So okay, here's the thing. BBZ definitely has the Heimerdinger, who's going to be a perma push, and you have PTP, a lot of hard engage. I'm going to give it to PTP because of that. If that Nasus is allowed to come online, then it will basically mean that Senna and Heimerdinger and Silas, if he's allowed to get onto them, will just cease to exist.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, let's go ahead and hop onto the rifts. All righty then. So we're going to go ahead and hop on down over here. I do want to see something spicy coming out from the side of PTP, just because that comp could very well have a really nice engage early on.
Yeah, I'd like to see something happen early on, but it looks like each team are just kind of scouting each other out.
Yeah, probably.
It might have been a little bit spicier if the Blitzcrank was picked, but wow.
Oh, absolutely. I do like the audacity from BBZ's Nier right there, as they have taken the Gragas top lane, and Let's Do Vanal has just decided to go ahead and engage on that. Doesn't do as much damage as BBZ does to him, though.
Yeah, a little bit of a nice trade, forcing the back out of him. Gragas has a little bit of sustain from his passive. I mean, really just trying to set the dominance, who's on top in this lane.
Yeah, I swear, Nier just decided to go ahead and walk into that lane, gave absolutely no cares as to where the rest of the members of BBZ were, or rest of PTP was. And with that, we're probably just going to see a full clear come out of this Trundle, will be my expectation. And we have a leashless start coming out from the side of PTP. Sorry, I was having trouble saying leash.
All right, I mean, I don't know much about how this bot matchup is going to go. I assume that the Aphelios is just going to get pushed back.
So
the turrets.
The way this is going to start working out, Morgana is actually a great pick into a Heimerdinger bot lane, just because of the fact you could drop your pool down on top of the turrets, and it's going to do a lot of damage to them really quickly once you start leveling it up. I would kind of expect Carrots to level up E maybe 2 levels before leveling up Q, just so that you can stop having to worry about them, but we shall see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see about the skill order. I mean, if Carrots does so, it'll be good on him, but I mean,
right, and we got a nice engage happening in the mid lane. One thing to point out is Carrots did start pool instead of root, so they didn't take the actual binding for their level 1. They decided to go ahead and take the pool instead. Not uncommon, but also not the standard choice.
Yeah, I mean, good presence of mind of the Red seeing that, being able to just push up in the lane, knowing he's not really going to get punished for any early aggression.
Exactly, and it does allow him to practice Spell Thieves, get some extra gold, makes it really easy. Pure Llama is honestly in a great position against this Silas, doing a but I take that back. You got the healing coming out from that Thronebreaker.
Always got to watch out for that 12 Conqueror stack Silas, but it looks like
you do. And poor Graviel is just getting chased down by Dax. Dax is just beating on the soccer ball with a club, and we've got Nier coming over to stop the aid coming in from Let's Do Vanal. That is a nice chase coming out from their side, as Dax is just going to go ahead and clear up the rest of the topside jungle, setting Graviel so far behind.
I mean, a great punish and a good pathing from the Trundle to be able to do that, knowing that the Rammus doesn't have the flash and has the ghost. Finds him pretty low in the jungle, and I assume just found him pretty low and decided to go for the kill. Just an easy chase down for Dax.
Yeah, that was definitely an easy chase, and it was Trundle deciding. I think we're going to see Graviel ganking these lanes a lot. Like, that's just going to be what Trundle's going to do. BBZ is doing a lot of damage to Nier, just sitting under tower. Doesn't even have to worry about him trying to bait him. And this is going to be an easy early Drake pickup. This is going to be a huge deficit for Graviel.
Yeah, I mean, oh, nasty.
Look at that root. That is so much damage coming out onto Rat Autocrat. The Ignite is down, but it is not actually going to be enough to take him out. Or burn, sorry. That is a flash over the wall from BBZ Woof Woof. That is going to be rooted right in place, and we got the flamethrower coming out from there. We got Carrots taking down Woof Woof, though.
A little bit overzealous, going for that kill. Really wants that second kill onto the failures to put him behind, but I mean, flashing him without any mana is just kind of speaks doom, as he soon found out.
Yeah, exactly, especially for a Heimerdinger.
Especially so. I mean, just as I was saying, as the Rammus was kind of just falling into the curse of Rammus's just having...
Look at Pure Llama getting knocked up by that pillar, getting pulled in by the Thronebreaker. Lights taking a tower shot, doing a lot of damage as well. Dax is basically zoning him off at this point, because otherwise BBZ Lights is gonna go down. Dax is he's basically forcing Dax to stay in lane at this point. Pure Llama's pretty safe, though. Dax could dive if he really wanted to, though.
Yeah, I mean... A good look, forcing out the Rumble Flash. Lights almost gets turned on, but I mean, you see Dax there, vigilant in every way, just pushes out the wave and allows the Lights to reset without really a punish, and overall just an up flash onto the side of
yeah, right there, we've got the nice Gravium root right there coming out. Carrot's just missing the binding. Oh, that would have been a nice kill for Rat Autocrat had that hit.
Yeah, it would have been a nice, just at least force a cleanse right there, but I mean, just a little bit wide.
Just a little wide. That was... Okay, so that is something really smart we need to point out, that Red did take Cleanse. That is going to allow him to basically get rooted by Morgana and by Aphelios and have one free escape, so they can try and avoid the double CC. And then in the meantime in this top lane, so... I don't know a lot about top lane, like I've said before, but I do feel like this lane matchup goes over to Gragas early. However, if Vanal is allowed to free farm and allowed to get his stacks up, he is 10 CS behind, so it's definitely looking like that's not going to happen. But it could basically mean that once Nasus comes online, poor Gragas won't have any way to respond.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's playing a pretty good lane right now, keeping up on CS and the Nasus. Although we don't know the amount of Nasus stacks right now, it looks like he's
57.
He's having out a good enough spot for right now, I guess, for the lane matchup and lane time.
Yep, we got a Rammus coming in, rolling down. Nice taunt coming out onto BBZ Red. Red is trying to escape. We've got Woof Woof locked into the backline. 2 TPs coming out.
Down.
Rat is going to be in a lot, or poor little Graviel taking the damage as he gets jumped on by Rumble. Rumble's going to jump onto Senna. We got Lights right here in the backline. We've got Pure Llama trying to pick up another kill onto Woof Woof, but is just going to get taken down. That is a triple kill over to BBZ Lights.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like to be a good situation at first for PTP. Really just gets turned on its head by BBZ. I mean, it's good on the TP for coming down from the Rumble. The play was good, but I mean, after that, the Cyrus kind of just goes on a rampage in the back of the back and just takes him down.
Yeah, I feel like this TP comes in just a little bit late from the side of PTP, because right there, great follow-up by Graviel, good taunt, doesn't manage to actually pick anything up, but we've got, so that's like, what, 4 or 5 seconds before? That's the whole channel time that Pure Llama has to wait before he's able to actually do anything. He does manage to pick up Red, is not quite able to pick up Woof Woof as Lights picks up both of those kills, and it just doesn't go in the way of PTP.
Yeah, I mean, he's eventually able to trade one back, but at what cost? You're already delayed to the play. The play is pretty much over. I think that PTP was like, they're playing a little bit too aggressive for that. I mean, the play was
in the top lane. We had a fight going on as well. So let's take a look at this. We've got Vanal. He's sitting under tower, gets ulted out of tower ranges. Gragas just jumps right on top of him, smacks him in the head.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of underestimation of damage from Vanal, just not wanting to flash out of the Gragas. He's totally flashable, but I mean, in the end gets punished for it. Probably not thinking that the Gragas had enough damage, but I mean, he's got a lot of base damage, man. I mean, now he understands how much damage he really does.
Right, it is going to be a TP coming out from Vanal as he is brought down. I thought that was who was TPing bot originally, but it actually wasn't. Let's see here. So with the way this game is going, it really feels like BBZ is kind of taking the reins of it. And so PTP is going to have to find some way to either clip those reins or just yank them out of their hands. I'm really not sure if they have they do have the late scaling comp to do that. So there is a possibility.
Of course, they do have that late scaling comp, but I mean, we'll see how these next couple of Drake fights play out. If they want to contest the next 2 Drakes and they end up going in BBZ's favor, I feel like the game will probably get ended before then. But I mean, if we're looking at it right now, their win condition's probably going to be looking for ganks on the lanes where they've blown the summoner spells.
That right there is why I don't like a Heimerdinger in my bot lane.
Yeah,
All it took was one stun grenade, which just causes the turrets to focus poor Rat Autocrat, and he just takes so much damage.
I'm getting flashbacks to Paytime Zezro.
That's exactly it.
The chunks of health are just, it's demoralizing to watch.
It really is. Vanal right now, once again, pushing in that top lane. We got a nice Graviel jumping onto the Heimerdinger, dealing a lot of damage. The ult comes out from BBZ Red. Doesn't manage to pick up that kill on either of them, though. That was the Ignite coming out from Morgana, but Carrots just isn't quite able to do enough damage to finish off the poor little Heimerdinger.
Yeah, I mean, a good look, but I mean, from Rat taking that earlier damage, he has no space to walk up. Just barely misses the ult, and I mean, costs him a kill.
It does cost him a kill. Nier, in the meantime, is fighting this Gragas in a very bad position. Vanal taking a lot of... or actually, it looks like Vanal's winning this.
Trundle.
That's a nice flash. Nice smash down on the Siphon. Dax coming in to return the favor, though, as Vanal's just like, okay, I'm going to die. I'm going to get as many stacks as I can while I do, though.
The curse. The jungler comes up, swipes away the kill. Nasa's sitting there without any mana, but at least he's asserted his dominance in the lane.
That he did. Rat Autocrat getting... He already got Black Shielded, so that is going to be so much damage coming out as he doesn't have another way out of that CC chain and just gets popped.
I mean, really unfortunate. There's so much damage coming out from the spells on the side of BBZ that it actually broke through the Black Shield, and in the end, ends up getting rooted.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, because the way that the timing worked out on that just didn't go in his favor at all. Pure Llama has been doing pretty well against this against Lights, getting a lot of damage, chunking him down enough, but Dax just keeps showing up in his lane, preventing him from getting those kills.
I mean, really vigilant from Dax. Really, you can see the play, the coordination coming through, just covering for his lanes, whether it's shoving in lanes, just hovering around to make sure that
Carrots was looking for a Q angle, but just wasn't able to get it as they just get exploded. There are so many sources of damage in this bot lane from the side of BBZ that it's just, there's not a lot you can do against it.
It's just tragedy after tragedy.
Right there, nice Gravium Root by Rat Autocrat, but it's not going to be enough damage coming out as BBZ Red just tanks a tower shot in order to get a decent chunk damage onto him.
I mean, they're really just effectively playing their draft. Their lane is just, despite them being ganked by Graviel a couple times, I mean...
Oh, he tried to guess it, but he guessed the wrong bush!
The prediction just comes up a little bit short. It looks like BBZ wants to turn this.
BBZ is trying so hard to turn this around. Carrots isn't here. Rat stepped up a little far. They know that the channel comes out. The Gravium Root comes out as well. We've got a Q coming out from Rat Autocrat, but doesn't manage to get it. The taunt comes out onto the center. BBZ Red in the danger zone gets taken out by the sniper.
PTP.
The Celebrum with the kill.
Finally able to answer that back, but with a great kill. But looks like mid lane's under attack. A good flash from Pure Llama.
That was a beautiful flash coming out from Pure Llama. He is definitely aware of the fact that Dax is just continually in his lane and definitely seems to have that third eye turned on. Vanal fighting Nier. I think at this point, Nasus is in a position that he can definitely fight up the Gragas alone. He's already showcased that and is kind of just like, you know what, if you want to fight me, fine. I'm going for my stacks though, so just leave me alone. See, right there. That's a huge amount of damage coming out from the Dark Siphon. We got the flash to avoid the Q coming out from Lights. The equalizer coming down. The slow, the burn, the heals. Get Lights the kill.
Man, looks like in the top lane too. There's a little bit of a skirmish. Looks like Near's. Oh!
Just a little bit of a skirmish. Oh my goodness. So the healing coming out. Vanal is one Q away from killing Nier. Nier jumps in first, gets the stun, gets the explosion. Oh, way to go, Nier, taking up that kill.
Man, both these teams are skirmishing over and over again. This is what we like to see.
This is definitely what we like to see. All right, so with the way things are playing out, it is now 4-10. PTP's on the ropes. They are starting to fall really far behind as we have now gotten almost a 4K gold lead on the side of BBZ. I am really worried for this poor PTP comp.
I'm worried for the PTP comp, but I mean, essentially, if we could get delayed, oh, the minion wave barely saving Rat.
The minion wave saving Rat. We've got a TP coming down to stop this Gravia ulti as Dax is coming in as well. We've got a nice knock up from the side of Nier. We've got a nice snipe coming out from Senna. We've got Rat stuck under the tower. He drops his ulti, but there's just nowhere for him to go. He does get a nice bit of health back though.
I mean, Rat really just watching his kingdom crumble and burn even more.
It really is crumbling and burning as he's having to back up the Severum coming out in order to try and get him a little bit. The turret being placed to get a little bit of damage. He does survive, and I don't believe they're going to dive this. That was a really interesting interaction.
That was weird interaction. Kind of like a slingshot.
Just a little bit. I think he pulled himself into a minion, then just jumped backwards.
I mean, grab back.
Fight is not over. That was a good black shield coming out, protecting Graviel. That is going to be a kill going over to Rat Autocrat as he takes Red down. We've got Nier fighting Vanal under tower. Vanal is out a quarter health down. Looks like right here. We've got Graviel once again just continuing these engages, running around the map, going on to Dax. That is going to be a flash over the wall to escape. No kill going over to the side of PTP. I mean, so Pure Llama is going to chase him into the jungle.
That's his jungle now, boy.
It is. Okay, so here's something that I understand, the stopping for that right there. I get it. It makes sense. But at the same time, you stopped the chase, which means that it allows time for the rest of BBZ to come in and start taking you out as Pure Llama gets killed.
I mean, Light's going on a chase. I mean, he decides to give up chase, but I mean, both teams kind of just overextending a little bit too much. You can see BBZ wanting to get that second Herald charge off. Ends up getting punished for it. Pure Llama fueling himself after forcing out the Trundle, goes for the blue buff, and just gets punished by the collapse.
He really did, and that was a situation of, I almost feel like if he had chased Trundle down, then he would have been able to catch up, maybe get the kill, would have been a little bit better for him. Instead, he stopped to take out that ward and didn't have vision of lights coming down from the mid lane, which basically resulted in him getting taken out.
Yeah, I mean, in that trade, PTP coming up with the short stick, you really just saw what happened when the last kill, but I mean, you can, with these plays, you can see glimpses of hope.
I like Nier's audacity jumping in under tower, using the ult to keep Vanal from continuing the engage. Look at this. He's just like jumping on him and smashing the barrel on his head just for the assertion of dominance.
Chipping him out, denying him these stacks as much as he can. The lane phase is almost over. Nasus is going to start free farming soon, but I mean, essentially setting up for what could be a dive, or just really just asserting his dominance in the lane at this point.
He really is. So one of these things that I just think is really interesting is we're getting a huge amount of skirmishes coming out across the map on a constant basis. Look at this. Let's do Vanal. The Wither comes out. So we had a kill down in the mid lane as Wolf took out Rat Autocrat. Let's see how this played out. So let's see. We've got Rat. He's very low. You don't want to be that low against a Heimerdinger with an ulted turret. Oh, that's just painful.
I mean, he just wants golden experience. Look at Vanal just running down Nier.
Vanal is just taking out poor Nier. That is a shutdown going over to Let's Do Vanal. You do not want Nasus getting gold. That is like almost as bad as that. Look at this fight here in the bot lane.
Oh my god.
The double equalizer, one from Lights, one from Pure Llama, and we see who does more damage.
Yeah, I mean, in the no-use situation, it looks like the original doesn't win out. I mean, Lights just focusing that combo down, and the burn, the damage, everything is just too much.
The empowered Q coming, like the passive spins coming out from Silas right there, dealt so much damage. So much damage.
Which, I mean, BBC just kind of taking wins across the board, except for that top side. I mean, was bound to happen. Nier threw out his ultimate, couldn't have any more displacement, and Vanal just throws down the Wither and runs him down. We're gonna see. I think he's gonna see a lot more of this.
We've got Vanal. He's just decided to take down this turret. That is gonna be top turret down, but it's gonna be poor Vanal giving up his life for it. That is the second time he's been overextended or ganked where he just realized that he wasn't gonna be able to get out and just took an objective.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things to take away from that play. Either he's tilted and he's saying, "This is my lane, this is my kingdom. I'm never leaving. I'm not going to stop pushing," or it's I got the objective and it's worth at that point.
Yeah, if you didn't have 3 members of BBZ up in the top lane to basically counter your push, I would say that is exactly how it played out, but that's just going to be a tower for tower, plus an extra kill over to the side of BBZ.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how BBZ wants to push into this. They did just get the tower. It looks like they're continuing to push out these waves on the side, despite the Drake spawning in 25 seconds. So it looks like they're feeling themselves. They feel like they can afford to push out these waves and maybe even show up a little bit late. But I mean, in the end, I mean, PTP's probably going to have to give this one up.
They really are, and it unfortunately seems like PTP is in this position where they're trying really hard to fight for these wards, but they're just not able to be aggressive enough and actually push out without getting punched in the face by BBZ.
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, probably what they're saying right now is just like, just let the Gnosis stack. I mean, we don't have enough gold or damage to do anything. I mean, just trying to stop.
They see near, but they're just a little bit too timid to actually lock him down and keep him from continuing this engage. We've got lights in the background. Look at that. We've got a dragon taken without even having the jungler over there. Oh, Dax was over there, sorry.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking Gragas was
it's the jungler. It's okay. I was thinking it too.
Right.
But it looks like this whole point it's going to be around 23 minutes, but Lights put himself in
Look at this. Lights is just doing the power play by taking the Morgana ulti, trying to 4v1 this game. We've got the Senna ult coming in, but it is not enough to save him as the shutdown goes over to Pure Llama.
You know, Rat's sweating a little bit, but I mean, a minute later, and that would have been Baron. I mean, just a little bit unfortunate that Lights stuck around for greeting the wave, but it looks like Nier's getting kind of just collapsed on.
He is getting collapsed on, but he's definitely going to be able to get out just fine. There's not a lot for the rest of BBZ to do. PTP is just really low, taking a fight they really shouldn't be at this moment. Right here, you see Graviel go down, Dax taking him out, and that is going to be a Rift Herald and a kill going over to BBZ.
I mean, Nier just kind of pushing in the wave, ends up flashing out, goes in for the re-engage with the E. Looks like a favorable situation, but that cast just separates Graviel from his team and ends up just being traded out for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. That cask separating him from the rest of his team. It was one of those situations where when that fight was starting, you just knew it was a bad idea. Let's do Vanal, getting locked in place, doing what he can, going after the squishier targets, but is not able to do enough damage as he just gets shredded and taken out by Nier.
Yeah, I mean, that's just... that's the upgraded version of stuck between a rock and a hard place. That is just the whole enemy team. You're just kind of stuck there, and Vanal really just trying to fight his way out. Just can't, ends up going down.
Yeah, it was the lack of vision. So the fight before the Nasa's death, it was the lack of vision that caused them to re-engage on that because they thought it was only the Gragas over there, but it wasn't. And then right here, that's going to be a Rift Herald coming down, getting them yet another tower. That is a Equalizer coming out, but it's not going to matter. It doesn't equalize anything. Woof Woof is very low, but there's just no way to get on him as BBZ Red is just forcing this wave forward, trying to let the Rift Herald get another proc off, and it doesn't manage to as Aphelios takes it out.
BBZ is just focusing these towers, trying to choke out PTP as much as they can, force him in the base, and probably eventually just start up the Baron. Probably even before the Soul starts, due to the Heimerdinger damage that they have. That's probably what they're going to set up to do. Because, I mean, if you saw from that Rumble ulti, Wolf sat in it for a good 2 seconds, and he only lost about 300 HP. That's not what you want to see from your Rumble.
No, he's really not losing a lot of damage right now. He's so far behind in comparison to the Sylas. He's 4 kills down. That's like a good 800 gold. And it just, it's not something you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, since that Equalizer, and I said those words, he has picked up 2 component items and finished his Mythic. But I mean, in the end, I don't think it's going to be the difference maker in between. The damage is so spread out.
Right now, PTP is hemorrhaging. They're in a very nasty spot. Lights using the fancy footwork, able to dodge, but he gets launched by the blast cone in a direction he doesn't want to go. We've got the ulti coming out from Senna, keeping him alive for just a little bit longer, but it's not enough.
I mean, a great auto from Carrot. It's good presence of mind, knowing that the blast cone where Light's positioning would send him, and I mean, that's picking up that one for pretty free.
And that's Graviel getting bounced out of his rolling ball before they have a chance to actually get onto the target he wants. Autocrat getting chased back by Dax, and there's nowhere for him to go. There's so much. The flash over the wall, the double chomp, and the double kill as he takes down Morgana. That's a triple kill, sorry. My bad, as he also took down Graviel.
I mean, serve him up on a platter for Dax. I mean, looks like PTP kind of just gets a little overzealous, wants to go in for the play, knowing that their middle laner is down, one of their most fed members on the team. But I mean, from that play, Carrots is super low. And you're only engaging with 2 members, and I feel the hurt of that.
You really are. So that is going to be an easy Baron pickup. I'm not a big fan of that back. I feel like there's a little bit more they could have done on the map before doing it, but they're basically going to back, reset, get themselves some items, heal up, push these waves out, and honestly, we're probably going to see just a couple more pushes just so they can get this Drake. Once they get Soul, it's pretty much endgame.
Yeah, you can see why it's kind of just pushing at the top lane. Probably going to send someone up bot to shove in that wave just in case the fight goes bad. In the end, we'll be picking up a net positive on the gold, but I mean, probably just looking for a big fight at the Dragon.
They're looking for that big fight of the Dragon to pick up that kill. We've got PTP already over there to try and anticipate it. Try and set up their vision first to basically be ready for BBZ's engage. I don't think this fight's going to go very well for them just because of the fact that they've got a Trundle, they've got a Gragas, both of which are exceptionally tanky. You've got so much healing coming out from the Sylas that unless they're able to burst them down, it's not going to matter. Look at that.
Big ultimate cooldown used, though, from PTP. Rumble ults you down. Oh, it's Light just having a heyday in the top lane.
Exactly. We've got Sylas pushing to the top lane right now while this huge fight's happening. This is the exact same situation as we saw last game. Look at that. BBZ Red taking out Graviel as he was stuck and caught in the middle of the Senna ulti. We've got Heimerdinger on the back line T-posing Aphelios, and we've got Carrots getting chased down by Trundle. Oh, but he's going to get away as BBZ Near picks it up, but that is going to be a nice snipe from Red.
Yeah. I mean, BBZ just picking up their prize in that team fight, and was already basically won before it started. Taking the soul up, just make a safe pickup. It looks like all 3 waves are crashing at the same time. BBZ probably just going to go for somewhat of the triple inhib, maybe even go for an end. Probably not the end because of that timers, but I mean, we'll at least get 1 inhibitor tower.
Yeah, they won't be able to end it at this moment in time, unfortunately, for PTP, though. That won't really matter, as that's going to be a huge amount of objective loss on their side, as that's going to be at least 2 inhibs, if not this top inhibitor as well. Actually, I take that back. This could be an end because they've got the Baron-empowered minions inside of the base, and they have enough damage because you see Autocrat just getting bursted down as Dax goes dominating. You've got BBZ Near taking out Rumble as well. Look at this. Graviel is just having to waddle out, trying to survive. They just aren't able to engage on this, and Lights is the only member on the side of BBZ that looks like they're in any danger of dying.
BBZ just kind of taking it a little bit slow, kind of now stepping on the gas.
They don't have to take this slow at all. They've got this game in the bag. They're just jumping on every single member of PTP right now. It's just a formality at this point. They're wiping them all out. That's going to be the last Nexus turret going down right about now. BBZ Wolf is still alive. Gragas was the only one to go down that fight, and that is going to be the Nexus gone. And that
a good dominant game from BBZ from start to finish, really just choking out their enemy, and PTP really feeling the pressure and falling to it.
They really did. This was definitely a BBZ-controlled game. PTP had some early engages that worked out fairly well for them, and I think we're going pretty great. But that bot lane, Senna Heimerdinger, I can't think of anything more cancerous, especially for poor Fang over Fang, because it's Senna anyway. But you just have... Look at that damage right there from Heimerdinger. He's just dropping those turrets, letting them sit and do all the work for him as he just kind of walks around avoiding the damage.
Yeah, I mean, they played to their condition well. They soaked up a lot of the pressure from the bot lane and from the enemy jungle and the mid laner, making those roams down. I mean, BBZ punished them for it. The late TPs, the ganks that were off-timed, just a little bit tempo. It just was overall a little bit slow from PTP, and they really just fell victim to it.
They really did, and I understand the idea. So the comp that PTP drafted, I do like their comp, especially with the late game Nasus. But the problem is you got to get to late game to make late game Nasus work.
Yes, of course. The Nasus did have a hard time in lane, but not to say that he lost entirely. It was more the fact that deficit that the laners had put aside from the top lane beforehand was really what acted as a catalyst to accelerate the game state to a point where he just couldn't play the game.
Exactly. And one thing I wanted to point out is they got Soul, I believe. I believe they got the 4th Drake. And as a result, we had Elder Drake about to come up, but it just still didn't pop up. Our game only lasted 25 minutes, and that's not a game Nasus can be useful in, regardless of how much time he's had to stack. Just look at the damage to objectives right there. Rumble and Morgana both didn't even have an opportunity to hit the towers. And there's really not much more to talk about in regards to that if you just look at how much Trundle did.
Yeah, the numbers do say it all on that.
They really do. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back with an interview, so don't change that browser.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here on the final interview of the day with the substitute victorious Woof Woof from BBZ. How you feeling?
Pretty great. Thank you so much.
So talk to me a little bit about this game. This is your first time playing this season with BBZ. You're subbing in for the big boss. How did it feel coming into this game? And then you obviously drafted the Heisendong out here. So talk to me about this.
Yeah. So I was on BBZ season 1 and season 2, so BC Love always is right. But coming in this season, I knew I was on the sub bench just in case. The main man has to go himself. So here I am. I didn't expect my first game to be a Heimerdinger game, but I play him a lot on the side, so it went pretty great. Literally, team, I believe in draft was just like, this is a Senna Heimerdinger comp, and everything else is on the fly.
That's pretty cool that they're just like, hey, we'll just let you play this. We'll just do the for fun stuff.
Yeah, and I had a great time. Besides that level 3 flash.
a little.
Yeah.
So, on that same note, you alluded to, the confidence of the team behind you. Talk to me about, the team and the new coach coming in that you talked to me about at the break.
Sure. I've been on BBZ for 3 seasons now, if you can still count this one. And I think this current BBZ is the strongest I've seen them. It blows my mind when I see some of the plays that are coming out. And being able to sub this game today, I see why BBZ's doing so well. Being on those comms, I felt so reassured. I was so nervous coming into the game, but going throughout the game, it went over so well. And the Ben diff, oh my goodness. Coach Ben, amazing guy, really helps us out. And I'm glad to see that he's on BBZ Season 3 as well.
Ben, it's a Ben diff. Ben OP needs nerfs.
Yeah.
Now, so Coach Ben gives you the 200 IQ Giga Draft with the Senna Heimerdinger. Talk to me about actually operating this in the game. There was a little bit of a laning diff, let's say, down there in the bot lane. How did it feel in this matchup against the Morgana? It was like, oh, cool, we have the Black Shield to help him out, but it's like, if you don't have Thresh, this Aphelios is just trapped in hell if he eats one of your grenades, or if Senna W gets on him, like, it's doomed. So talk to me about this lane. So how it went.
Yeah, laning. I was listening to Red most of the time, and I'm not the quickest on the uptake, but as the game progressed, it went easier and easier, and I think I got more and more used to it. Into the Heimer and the Morgana matchup, I play Heimer mid most of the time. Playing him in the bot lane and seeing Morgana again, I was like, I already know this. I just need to land the grenade off shield cooldown, or when the Morgana's not paying attention.
I think it's obvious that you managed to navigate that to pretty good success. So well done on that regard. And how does it feel to show Chris that he might not have a job anymore?
Oh no, I don't think I can replace Chris. Nor would I want to. I mean, I really want him to shine this season so bad. And I'm really rooting everybody on.
Way to sell out for the extra bulgogi right there. Much I see you. I respect it.
Yeah. I'm in it for the Karbi.
There you go. It's a KBBQ diff.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Any final words for us, Julian, before we go?
BBZ.
Ben diff, Koshi, you're on the way out. Julian's taking your spot. It's confirmed. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with our lounge. So we'll be right back. That's fun.